Alright, so I just got done filming a playthrough for Beta Colony, and make sure you click the link in the video description. It will take you to the playthrough if you want to see that. But let's talk about the game Beta Colony. I'll give some impressions and then we're going to go down to the table and we'll look at things a little bit more in depth. But overall, I have to say that in the past, this design team of Ben Pinchback and Matt Riddle, some of their earlier designs, I thought Fleet was okay, but then there were some other ones that they put out that I wasn't really impressed with, so I've been kind of skeptical about their designs. But the last two that they've put out, Pete Mott's and now this one, I've been impressed with. And this game in particular is something that I enjoyed. I've played it at all the player counts. And there's even a solo variant that I have tried out that was designed by Jason Dinger, who did Captains of the Gulf. And the game plays extremely well. The thing about it is that the rules are so simple in this game on how to play. However, you are challenged to make decisions how to best utilize your dice in the game for choosing your actions. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around and we're going to go down to the table and we're going to take a look at things a little bit more in depth. Alright, so here we have Beta Colony, and so the first thing that I want to do is get the, I don't know if you want to call it the elephant in the room, out of the way. But if you look at this particular game, upon appearance, it doesn't exactly look the best. And that's probably maybe the weak point of this game is its physical appearance on the table, because really the artwork is functional at best, and the color selections, they're not really bright. I mean, we're looking at a white and a light blue, and then the other two colors are purple and black. And so we already have a lot of black on the board, and it's not really a glossy finish, it's kind of a matte finish. So the game itself does not have it doesn't really pop when it's on the table, but don't let that be a deterrent to you, because really this is kind of one of those ones where it's like the ugly duckling turns into a beautiful swan. One of the other things, and I don't really think it's that big of a deal, but I did see some complaints that the cards kind of come on these sheets and you have to punch them out, and they do get a little bit of a bow over time. You can see maybe along the edge there. But, it's not like these cards are in your hand. You shuffle them up, you place them on the board, or they're up on the top there. So here's a little bit up close more of the cards that I was trying to show you before in the playthrough. They were really not on camera. There are these statues. Each of them cost 3 artifacts, and then they have some things that are like some end-of-game scoring. And then we have these different buildings that you can construct too, and each one of them gives you an ability, and then you will be able to place them on the board. The rest of the production quality, we have player mats that are just like a heavy card stock, and they're functional. The pieces themselves. Everything in this game is just functional. The little pieces, these are the same guys like from New Frontiers, which is also from the Race for the Galaxy board game. So the game itself just went ahead and has functional components. But here's the one thing that I will appreciate, the fact that it was made in the USA, so we did use American manufacturing. So for those of us in America, it's nice to see them using American labor to produce these games. Now, with that being said, the biggest, like I said, the biggest knock is the appearance, and everything is functional. But the way that this game plays is really neat. And so once you're playing, I mean, everything revolves around moving around a rondel. So if you like rondel games, this is going to be something that's going to be up your alley. But the neat thing is how you use your dice. And so the one player, whoever the start players for that turn, they're going to roll their dice, and all of the players are going to have the same things to work with. And then it's going to be how you best use these and how you're going to use them, because one's going to be used for movement and the other one is going to be the strength of your actions. And then the ability to be able to use your fuel to modify these dice values is really, really cool, because sometimes, you know, you may not want to travel so far, so you're going to have to spend fuel to maybe slow yourself down, put on the basically like the brakes, so to speak, or you have to kick the fuel in for the afterburners to make you go further. But each of these spaces has something that looks like this. Here's what you have for your actions. You know, depending upon which dice you're going to use is going to give you specific strength values. So here, you know, if you use a 1 to 4, you're going to only get 1 resource. You get a 5 or 6, you're going to get 2. And then depending upon, you know, your die, if you use the blue one, you're going to be able to get you're going to get an additional confidence point. So you get challenged. Okay, how are you going to best utilize your dice? How are you going to use them in a way that you may sacrifice the materials that you get in order to gain a confidence point? You know, and then which color of the dice, you know, on a turn, is it going to matter where you're going to go? Are you going to have to use a specific color each turn? That's one of the things that you're going to be faced with. And then how to best use your fuel, because you're going to have to determine what you're going to do. That's just for the actions. So that makes you think about that. Next, you have all of these different materials that you have to worry about trying to acquire. And we never really had a problem in this game, but you can have no more than 10 no more than 10 materials. And it even says on the board here, maximum of 10. So, but, you know, being able to have the materials to be able to get these specific tiles on the board is going to be really, really important. And that's, you know, and then these manufactories are so important, and making sure that when you're going to this particular space that you have the proper materials to take the colony pod that you want, and then also being able to construct it on a space, because if you don't have enough materials, you can't perform that action. You're going to have to do something else. And I that kind of happened to the white player here at the end. They could have really just had a runaway with it had they been able to, if they had one material to be able to place this, they would have been able to grab this one to have two confidence points per crew in your longest contiguous chain of crew on adjacent tiles. When we come over here and look at their establishment on Cusco, look at that chain. That would have given them another 12 points. They still pulled out a sizable victory, but they could have really ran away with it. The blue player kind of went out, went early, kind of jumped on one spot, and they spent a lot of energy over here and here, but neglected this space over here, and they really should have spent more time working on that. And the other thing too is, as we are, developing these colony pods, where are you going to go? As we also have to worry about how far we can advance on these different tracks that are around the outside, and each one is going to be a little bit different. This particular one, you're going to get fuel, and then you're going to get confidence. You're going to get a lot of confidence points, and then just the order that they go in. But really, when you get to the end, this is like you're building a colony pod for free. That's huge. It could help you with a chain. It could help you with end of game scoring, but you have to move all the way around. So you have to put a lot of energy in trying to get the specific tiles that are going to allow you to advance up there. So you're going to need more that are going to be like 3s, or you're going to need 2s, and you're going to have to build them in chains or close to the colony centers to get further advancements. We look over here. This is going to allow you to build a cultural achievement for free without paying for it. That's super huge. Had the white player or even the blue player been able to get this, that would have given them some more points. The blue player, heck, if they were able to get that one, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a chain. That would have given them, that's 10 points right there. So, being able to advance to this would have been really good. They were up kind of far. They still needed to go some more spaces. They should have focused a little bit more on building here on Thebes. And then this last one over here gives you 8 victory points, and you can place a crew member anywhere you want. Well, we already had that happen in one of the other spaces here. The white player already did that once, and they took advantage of that and capitalized it by putting one over here on this space. So you've got a lot of different things to think about, even with placing your colony pod. So the game is offering like a lot to think about You know, and you have 3 different spaces that you're trying to manipulate on the board, and it really provides for a very, very, very cool experience. Now, this game, it works well. You saw it in a 2-player action, but really playing 3 and 4 players, some of the things that are really, really neat, it comes more into play of being able to see, you know, this one here. Luckily, the blue player was able to have and get a chain of 3 of the same color type, and then you can't make them any bigger based upon that particular color type. But had they been able to get one of here, they would have been able to score this 1 point here, and then they would have been able to score additional 2 more influence because of the same color type. So you can actually build off of what other players have for their colors. So you can see like it happened over here. Blue was here first, white came in behind it, and they actually were able to advance 2 spaces because of that. So, but in a multiplayer game too, spaces fill up really, really quick. And if you notice on here, some of these spaces are more plentiful than others. You see there's a lot more water on this particular spot. There's a lot of water, but you don't really see a lot of these orange spaces. And so the orange cubes, they're kind of a weird thing, these polymers, because there are no colony pods that require that particular color. So it's only for placing on the board. So you want to be able to make sure that you're aware of that when you're placing them on the game board. So overall, like I said, this game, it has a really, really cool playing experience, and it's not difficult. I think that's one of the best things about this is it takes a very short amount of time to teach, and you're ready and you're up and playing it, and it just has this really, really cool feel of playing the game. So overall, I really, really like Beta Colony. It may not be the most attractive game that's on the table, but it has a really, really satisfying gaming experience playing it. Like I said, I've played it multiple times now. I really, really enjoy it. And I think that if you're looking for an interesting rondel game that uses dice in kind of a creative way, then Beta Colony is going to be one that you're going to want to check out. And certainly it has a relatively quick playing time. Like I said, this one we played is a little bit longer because I was trying to explain my actions as we were going along in the video, but definitely something that you're going to want to think about adding to your collection. So if this looks like a game that's up your alley, make sure you check it out. And so my hat's off to Matt Riddle and Ben Pitchback. These guys, they've created a game that I like, and I'm happy that they've produced this one, and I'm glad that they are finally making some games that I enjoy. And so nothing against those guys, it's just some of the games that they've created before weren't up my wheelhouse, but this one definitely is, and you're going to want to check it out. So like I said, if you want to see the playthrough, make sure that you click the link in the video description, and make sure that you check that out. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.